One map down and possibly 2 more to go. Train, the choice of Gambit, picked up by them. They went out in nearly convincing fashion. And, well, Hugo, normally I'd be offended you're on your phone, but it's okay because, well, you're checking up the Strafe app. For all things schedules, scores, and statistics, make sure you guys head on over there. But also stay tuned because the action's coming back your way as we swap over to Dust, a map that North has shown us they are very good on, and they'll be looking to take down what I would argue is their biggest opponent yet.
Oh yeah, and arguably maybe the biggest opponent of this entire event as well, coming in as one of the favorites, alongside maybe HR, you could argue. North obviously making improvements recently and showing their Dust 2 is that of maybe the best in this event. And we're going to see that trial and tested up against Gambit, who are currently a map up in this best of 3 series. I'm very much expecting this to go to Overpass, Connor. I don't know about you.
A part of me wants to believe so. A part of me actually hopes so. You know, I would be very curious to see what these teams have for us on Overpass. I feel like, if anything, that might be our most even ground. And considering, of course, how well we did just see North play Train, wondering, of course, you know, what their map pool would look like, whether or not they could contest anywhere else than the safety net of Dust. Hell yeah, Hugo, I want Overpass.
Oh yeah, and you know, the amount of impact we have from the players that stepped up in the previous map that also we imagine will step up coming into this game is very similar, right? Let's look at Mertz in this game. Obviously, he had a great map on Train, was able to get a lot of impact kills, take down Mo in numerous occasions, winning them rounds. And now we head to a map where, you know, if we look back to their game versus Imperial especially, on the T side, North managed to pull back a 12-3 comeback to a 16-14 win, in which case Mertz was hitting every single cross shot. Every round, Tensky was tagged trying to go to B or dead.
It's like, you know, a part of you you can't help but doubt North because they did give up 12 rounds versus Imperial. But remember, it's the first half of the entire tournament. They came in cold, something that we know sometimes can happen. And even then, they had the, you know, the fortitude and the stability to make that comeback happen. And it wasn't even overtime. They closed it out with an even more convincing T side. But again, I do like that you bring up Mertz in the situation. I think he played a huge role on that comeback. And I want to see that again, right? If you have the timing, no matter who's on the other side of that door, if you have the timing and you have the aim, I believe you can win that duel. What's scary is the amount of times the double op setup was picked up on Train by Gambit and how good Mo was looking. Yeah,
and not even just him, but Adren as well. You know, both of them being able to do massive work with this AWP, as well as that C's from time to time. We've seen this event, especially him like to take that AWP maybe when, you know, Adren or Hobbit not feeling it. So the amount of AWPing power that we do have on Gambit actually does reign supreme to some extent, but let's just jump straight into this. Let's find out, Connor. No more theorizing in map number 2 of this best of 3. It's North kicking things off on the CT side, Gambit on the T side, and Dust 2 is the map.
Yeah, let's let these players speak for themselves. The language of Counter-Strike, a bloodbath. North, starting off on the counter side, will move forward with only Kevlar. No kit, no utility. In fact, we've got 10 sets of Kevlar. This is a very safe round, Hugo. And you know what? Safety first.
I'm all for it. Let's see what we have here with no utility. This makes the round very hard for Gambit, but of course with no kit, North are going to have to lock this down before the bomb plant comes through. AZ instantly dead in middle. Not even so much of a peek. Adren just drops him. Yeah, he tries to pull back this fight, and he does at least find one man in middle, but still, MSL also doing damage on long, is shutting down this short split. They're trying to hit the A site up through both avenues of the map, and Mertz, he doesn't want to allow it, but he can't shut them down. He's got to watch his back as well. MSL is going to be dropped on long, and Mertz pincered from 2 sides, leaves North with just 2 men up.
Jeremy's in an awkward spot, especially now that Doja gets him. So Valda, who also impressed in the opening map, will have to pick up one hell of a clutch. And that is the way to start this. But he gets gushed up, and Hobbit, well, he comes out of his hole. Clears off the catwalk, and Gambit pick up their pistol.
And of course, the scary thing of this game is Gambit starting on that T side, right? We know we already have seen that North have a pretty phenomenal T side on Dust 2, but it's their CT side that comes under question. If we see Gambit make a similar stomp to that of Imperial, when they're definitely, you know, unarguably a better team, especially on this day when they're already a map up, the question mark is, can North do this again? You know, if Gambit get a 12-3 half similar to that of Imperial, can North pull another comeback? So dependent on so many factors, like, you know, not losing to these CZs and also winning that first pistol round. But we're so early on. Mo's already started off this round with a shot from the scout as Kiebi brings some aggression up through middle. He is supported. MSL the brains in the brawl as well from North. They're going to be moving their way around to flank this long, but Gambit have already taken the A site in the meantime, so this should be their round, although casualties start to come through.
Yeah, one of those awkward situations where Doja gets caught with a grenade in hand, but you know what? That long control was actually going to be a key piece to this hold. Now we've got Adren and Mo kind of pinned in behind the car, so they can still assert themselves through weaponry, and they will do exactly that as they take North aback and leave AZ the only man standing. And not for very much longer. Gambit, 4 players alive at the end of this one. A nice solid conversion point that could have gotten shaky had long come into fruition.
And now it is just gritted teeth for North. Again, saw this on the first map with Gambit on that T side. Clean conversions for Gambit looking good as they begin to take the anti-eco. North with just USPs, already cross-shot hit for Mo. So, I mean, we've been talking about Mertz getting these cross-shots down the mid-doors. Mo's already started off as well. So this is going to be a very interesting game to see who is the leader of that mid-lockdown. Right now, the A site, that's held down by Mertz. He's got a kill with a USP, playing this headshot angle and shielded by the fire. But can he get more than a single kill? Because again, with these USPs, it's so difficult to actually consistently win the rounds. And yeah, it's not going to happen here. Mertz gets burnt out, and Valdi, who has found an AK in all of this madness, probably should just be saving.
Ooh, whoa, they start to line up. That, again, is a situation that could have gotten scary. As a reassuring little shoulder tap from Hobbit. Keeps Adren in line, reassures him. It's all good. This is interesting. Again, remember, we have such an unknown quantity with Dust 2. Like, we praise North because it's what they've used to succeed and exit the groups in a 2-0 fashion, but it's not like we can criticize the Dust 2 of Gambit because we just don't know.
Yeah, we don't know how much prep they've done coming into this event on this map. They may be very prepared. You never know. So
if they reveal Dust 2 as the way to eliminate North in a 2-0 fashion, then, you know, who knows?
And it was a bit worrying for Gambit as well. When Cobblestone was removed from the map pool, obviously they weren't good at it recently. You know, they've been having their struggles on that map. But at one point in time, you know, early 2017, best team in the world on Cobble had a 15-map win streak on LAN. And so when I saw Dust 2 come back in, I was thinking, you know, Gambit, they may have trouble with this. But already off to a 3-0 start, and Mertz looks to make it 3-1. He's dropped Dozier down on long. Gambit looked to hit the safe site, but with everyone coming up through short right now, their long control from Mo's already dropped back. He's taken the rifle from the body of his teammate, and he's coming to regroup, or at least play that late short lurk. It's an open plant for Gambit. So these after plants are going to be very important here, and North don't have the kit to contest. They've got to move fast.
Molotov's going to be a little late here from C's. They've already managed to work their way past it, and they pick up the duel towards Catwalk. Trade frag's looking good, and Adren's just caught in the open. He doesn't commit to his boxes. As we said, that costs him, but that Molotov makes things interesting. Will delay the situation a little longer. This could allow for the smoke grenade to plume, but you can shoot right through it. AZ picks up his frag. Look at the health left over. North, this could have been a very different round.
They had to jump through the molly as well to actually get that defuse. Valdi had to commit, because if you saw by the time there wasn't a lot left. So very, very close, but North do take it. And that's great as well, because Gambit had a perfect afterplant, right? If we see North try and retake from B and walk up mid, try and take short, Mo locks him down every time. Mo will get a kill, or at least one there, maybe even more. But no, North just all come up through the CT spawn, and obviously the long players that weren't killed earlier on in the round due to Mertz winning his duel. So they move up together. They don't allow Mo to exploit them, but maybe he will here. AWP on long. Tag coming through onto that of Mertz. He's forced off the angle, and the Molotov's down, giving Mo a bit of a sightline through the smoke as it blooms. And Mertz, we've already seen highlight clips from this position, this tournament, from this exact man.
Very strong spot. Allows you to engage both Cat and Long. Gives you cover too, right? Unless they rail your face through the windshield of the vehicle. Hell, you can even go unnoticed, but seeing as he has the cannon, he's going to stay posted up. The barrel and some flying kneecaps, an indicator of presence, but they're just playing with him. Nobody's going to commit to the angle. Now he doesn't want to look away. And that's going to keep his attention pinned in as the T's do work their way up. Cat, a missed Molotov and a great peek from Mertz. He wins out on the op duel, and he's hungry for more. You can see him hunting, attempting to catch another kill, but over towards Cat is where the next players fall. AZ and Kierby looking to lock it down, and MSL the casualty that allows this back into even keel. 3v3.
I'm surprised Gambit are committing towards A. They've seen 2 players here, including the AWP, but they're going to go on anyway. And Dozier, with shots like that, I understand now. 2v1. with the bomb down, or at least going down on the site. It's a very open plant for Seized. A risky one at that, but Valdi going to move and try and close the distance, trying to take the 1v1 because Seized cannot exit up the ramp. And now it's Dosia in the pit as Valdi taps back, looking for this third kill of the round. Dosia's committing to the duel, and he will win it, saving the AWP as well. A dangerous play from Gambit to actually commit after spotting not only the man on short, but Mertz on the site, but they get it done, Connor.
Especially considering that Seized, when he plants inside the bomb site, already has Dosia so quickly running over towards pit. He moved as fast as his legs could take him. And while he locks down the round, as you said, if that plant doesn't happen, it could have so easily been denied. Fading smoke, Seized's head right for the popping. But again, it's this mid-damage. Mertz, oh, right through the light pole. Oh, Mertz with another. 2 through wood, no problem. 5v3, and Hobbit's looking to reel this one back into his control, but Kierby's taking down his teammates in the meantime. They're so disjointed. They have no bomb. Mertz throws a wrench in the works.
You could see his face after those kills as well. He has no idea how that happened, but now Gambit are trying to pull it back, and while they started off well, Hobbit's alone. His position given away, North fully aware, and this T-spawn could be so awkward to try and retake for Hobbit, but instead he comes in through middle. That being said, off angle taken at the top. As Valdi just sits there on top of the boxes, Hobbit begins to go for the long wrap, quite literally. But with these positions from North, this could be a very, very difficult clutch. Hobbit doesn't have a lot to work with in terms of health. He only has a single flashbang to get him through, and he doesn't want to give away his position anytime soon. So North, poised and ready to deal with this one. The only positive is no one's actually watching long. MSL's looking at the spawn. Valdi's checking down middle. Assuming the timing gets the better of them, Hobbit could actually exploit this one, but MSL turns back in the nick of time, and that will be it. North do save it. But for a second there, just for a second, there was an opportunity. Hobbit won't be able to grasp it. So North, they get reset, but they come back in with a big round from Mertz, and look at these shots.
Oh, and it's a...
He spotted him and then crossed and got the kill. On 12 points of health, may I add.
Easy peasy. This, Hugo, is just an extension of the way we ended Train, a back-and-forth bout between these monsters. At this current moment, North, with a bit of a grasp in that last round. Look at the reward they get themselves, Gambit on double AKs. Both of these teams have proved themselves already this series, able to fight off despite disadvantageous buys.
Big issue here for North is no AWP, right? Or Scout for that matter. So yeah, on short, they give it up, and Mertz plays from the car. Great position to play with the AWP, but with the rifle gives Gambit a very good headshot angle if they do commit towards A. But for now, Gambit haven't worked that one out, so not the full information. But if they do commit towards short later in the round, that's where things could start to peel apart here for North. But Gambit instead look at the middle, and Kierby locks it down. 1 kill to Seized. Flash over the top will force AZ back, but they've just faded away. Look at North, peeling back the setup, not committing to the duels. They've taken the man advantage, and Gambit now in an awkward spot. They're not able to get the instant trade, so we need to see Gambit find their own frag. But with AZ being forced off mid by that flashbang, he's now back on the B site, bolstering this defense and making things harder for Gambit if they weren't already difficult enough.
Keeping so much attention towards middle, though, this could allow for them to just sneak out through tons. And look at the positioning from North as well. We do see that second player at B starting to take a wider angle, but if he just hides behind these boxes, they'll be on the cusp of tons before they decide to execute. However, they do give away their play with grenades, and now, despite that, still able to win out onto the duels. However, swung back into the control of North as they clean up shop. It is all under the rug. North will convert a little bit of stability for their CT side.
Clean rounds is the name of the game here for North. That's what they're looking for. And 3 players alive in that one, definitely a good start. It's going to start to give them the money to build up to buy that AWP. And while we don't have it in play just yet, Gambit are on pistols, so you don't really want to run an AWP up against pistols anyway. They can overwhelm you quite easily. You can't have the ability to take multiple kills as you can with a rifle. And Gambit, look at this pace, straight up short already. First kill for Regret, and Kierby's trying to lock it down, and AZ has mid under control as well, but only for a blimp, because now Gambit have taken 2 kills to 2 deaths, and a rifle or 2 picked back up. This is starting to look a bit dangerous for North, so they try and get these kills while they know Gambit's position, as Valdi tries to force an engagement. Gambit going to be happy with taking that, but maybe not after Adren loses his head. Movaldi has to push his way back into B, blinded on the entrance, so he doesn't know just yet, but Gambit are not committing to that side of the map. Bomb retrieved, and guns on both.
Grenades on neither. They're just gonna have to walk their way to the bomb sites, hoping to get past these crosshairs, but it looks like MSL will get first contact. It's not as though Mo's peeking in with the AWP, but oh, a little bit of an opening being made. MSL will have to be aware of the fact that his backside is open. Mo not being presented any targets as of yet. Losing his teammate really spells disaster here because that was the bomb carrier. Had his teammate been able to retreat, then their options would have been a little more open, but now things seem to be closing down on Mo. Headshot from Mertz. Nice little double peek there through the doors. And it is, of course, North now stabilizing. 3 rounds in a row thanks to, I'd say, that 2K from Mertz.
Pretty much. I mean, that buy was limited as it is. The fact that they only just won it as well, with a couple of players surviving, they needed those shots. And now they're going to need more. Mertz has the AWP to play with, and we don't have it for Gambit here, Connor. So, while Mertz maybe not given the opportunity in mid, as Gambit definitely shouldn't take that fight knowing North's money is built up. Certainly a factor to take into account, especially on this A site.
What's really worth noting as well is the one bad half we saw from North so far was when they started CT side on Dust 2 versus Imperial, and Mertz was the worst performance on their team. Now, already he's starting to find impact at the beginning bout of this, and look how things have happened. 4-4 the score, even early on. North making the use of their very first pause. It would make sense, right? We mentioned how things were back and forth at the beginning of the round, but now that it's stabilized, North do not want Gambit back in this game. They can put up numbers here, that's great. The flashes over the smoke, double peek, costs them 1 life and a second, seized with a successful entry, and they are gonna try to move this forward further, but do they deal with the man behind the car, or do they redirect towards B?
Well, it is the latter. Orbit's already run on in, and Adren's taken some deep mid control as well. They didn't even bring the bomb, just in case that North hadn't rotated off of that site, but after the double kill from Seized, not a man can be seen. Gambit given the bomb site, and while they don't have control, Adren can lock down this middle. North are forced out of this round. It's great to see he's finding opening kills as well. Of course, we do see Mo doing that a lot with that AWP, but given the fact that he doesn't have it in play this time, it's Seized to be the point man for Gambit. Continue his good performance he's had so far this event, as 2 players are left up now for North, and Gambit start to enclose on their positions, not letting them save these guns, or at least they're going to try and take them away. Easier said than done. Mertz on with the AWP, and a nice boost up here in the long doors, but North have no reason to push. They can just hide in the pit. So Gambit, if they really, really want to chase, they need to move now. Take these guns away. They've got the utility to at least blind out North, stuck in the pit, but the utility for the CT side is good enough as well. It doesn't matter. AZ's going to get 2 kills, back for a 3rd. Does he know where Adren's position is? It's a no. And now you've got a question like, what's that worth it for Gambit? They lose 3 players. Yes, they take away the guns, but North...
Very, very costly. They were looking to use the flashbang on the entry to try and blind somebody, but the delay from the man in pit is what allows AZ to step up. That's big for AZ, right? It's a shame, obviously, for North. They wanted to keep their guns, but in order to curb the cash of Gambit, if you're all going to die, you at least go down with a fight, Hugo.
Yeah.
Kicking and screaming. North will be coming into this round with an AWP on AZ, MSL's FAMAS, and some pressure towards the B site. The AWP is in the right spot, but can he hit the shots? He starts with the first one. That's where she ends for now. The second Saga coming in as the retake moves its way through tons. Mo's off distracted, too many targets to try and focus in, and eventually Mertz will best him. But Doja's upgraded to the cannon of his own, and Gambit have themselves now a double man advantage. The last player, Kierby, tucks tail, not even getting a gun for his efforts.
And look how fast Gambit move in just to try and secure this frag. Adren just no fear in middle. Finishing off the final player there for North, making sure he can't grab an AWP and run on away. Now Gambit getting rid of the force buy of North that did have success on Train, but apparently not here on Dust 2. They're now down to even lesser of a buy.
I feel like Gambit are reading into what was at one point a strength for North's mid control. They have that mid control by positioning players on both B bomb site and the CT spawn. Nobody's really close to doors, at least not in the last couple of rounds. And because of that, you can hit this B site so quickly. You don't have to worry about the lower flank. And well, obviously in a round like this, you don't have to worry about much.
No. B side's open. North going for the risk stack, and it's not going to work out. Gambit, some good reads so far as they've taken a 7th round, almost guaranteed. North, they fall back passive because they know if they reposition to off angles, Gambit are going to start to hunt, try and make some money with these Mac 10s, meaning that, yeah, okay, North, it's not like they're trying to save here, but they're given a position where they're not guaranteed exits, but should be able to find a couple. Valdi's found one, and Hobby getting spotted as well. He's definitely got to be careful, but I mean, it's a no-risk real play. If he goes down, he can rebuy anyway, and he's going to make some money on the road. He needs to be aware of the close player in the tunnel, and that's Mertz getting dropped from Dozier's split. And I like that from Hobbit. Not committing to the duel, not knowing where the CTs are. He just baits in the tunnel, distracting North for long enough that Dozier can get in position to actually do the damage. Gambit playing some good CS here with a 7-4 lead on the T side. And no AWP again for North, but 2 for the Ts.
There's another mirrored instance where Gambit give up rounds in the middle of a half, but then get control by the end of things, and also start off strong. In the closing few of this T side from Gambit, they are still gunning for the double digits. The Dren missing a shot off the op, but follows with the Deeg. Can he get himself the double? No. Kierby gets the best of him, and then North reel this back into their control. A 4 versus 3 situation made possible by long A fights that go their way, and then they're swapping guns. But now this has created an opportunity of timing. Because they're not prepared for fights, they do allow the Ts to start crossing towards that site. And things get tricky. Smoke's down. Gambit close. Somebody hot on their heels, and oh, Mertz just drops the bomb into the open. That's a death sentence.
No way he can come back from that, Mo. He may have the time, but does he have the power, the individual performance needing to step up, but he's only going to get one, and that will be North locking it down, especially after that kill from a Dren. Great work from North to actually be able to isolate that long position. And if anything, Connor, yes, of course, the timing gets the better of them when Gambit fast push short, but if anything, it just allows North to set up passively and wait.
Yep, exactly, right? If they are still back in CT spawn, if they made first contact on catwalk, then they're gonna have their eyes on mid. But because they're caught in that awkward elbow, they have no control of the situation. And again, especially as they lose bomb. But now they're losing bodies. Mo cleaning up 2 players at the start of this one. A big window of opportunity smashed open thanks to Mo. But MSL, well, he has something to say to the situation. He will not linger longer. He falls right off. I don't blame him. Mo's gun barrel's still steaming from his opening picks, but that gun barrel's gotten cold now. We're back into the 3 versus 3, and he's not the only op in play, Hugo.
Kierby hungry as well. He's not playing passive. He's trying to force a man advantage. Not only have they drawn this back from 2 for Gambit, but now North are looking to go 1 step further and take this into their own. Kierby pushing through the Molotov. Does he commit to it? It's a yes. Could have fallen back in that position, but now he's committed. He has to take this fight, and he will win it as well. Mo dead. So Kierby proving that it's not just Mertz on the AWP. He can take it as well. MSL will even pick up one off the body as he fast peeks into middle and just gets out of there. North now start to settle back into a passive setup, but MSL still taking duels and still winning them as well. Adren dead, Hobbit alone, a 1v3 with not a lot of time. The only good thing is he has the bomb. Needs to watch out it doesn't get dropped out though, but if it were to be so, his life would be over and the round would be North's. He tries to cross to the site, and actually a passive setup from Kierby, waiting for his team for support, because there is only 20 seconds on the clock. So Hobbit, a game against time, and Kierby's going to finish off with 3.
I do like that Hobbit takes his time in order to find that 1 first kill, right? He doesn't rush the bomb cross. What he does is try to find that 1 opening pick, and had he cleared the player off the bomb site, then things really open up. Because both of those CTs are stranded in their spawn. Hobbit has the advantage of being above. And while Gambit have an advantage of 1 single round, they definitely don't have it in guns. A single AK for Hobbit, upgraded pistols and plenty of grenades, but North looking to make this tied at 7. Dust 2, I love it when it's as close as can be.
And look at this mid-split as well. North have no information. They focus on this B play due to the utility being thrown in. It allows C's to get in position, and he's going to find the first. Doesn't secure the AWP that falls off the top of the boxes, but the entry from Mo is also prevalent. Gambit with 2 picks here. And while no weapons have been retrieved apart from this 1 AK that's now gone out of the server, Valdi is going to defend B with a shot from the M4 and Mertz to follow up. They need to isolate him within the site, and they've done exactly that, but the damage has been done. Gambit down to 3 with 2 players on just 10 HP each. North with a very good chance.
Until they lose that man mid. Now MSL's gonna have to clutch, and Adren gets a bigger gun just in the nick of time. It's crucial that he wins that duel because Seized is just hiding on a sliver of health, and I wouldn't blame him. Valda nearly throws that one back into the pocket of North. This was, of course, that clearing flank, right? That scope's pinned in on Seized. He can't move. Adren had to get the best of both, and he does. So it looks like Gambit will have a lead moving into the second half, but do they extend it to the 9-6? They could.
Yeah, with that pick, Mert's already dead, and look at this limited buy from North. They've really not got a lot to play with, but the CZ's from Valdi again! It's not just Train, it's Dust 2-2, as he takes 2 frags in the B bomb site. Kiebi gets aggressive on short, and North showing their confidence and flexing their muscles. Man advantage here in the final round of the half, and Gambit split up. Dozier in the tunnel, C still in the spawn. And an AWP as North go for the double CT rotate towards mid. The smoke allows them to cross towards B. But the question is, do Gambit go there, or do they bring this bomb back up short?
We haven't really seen Gambit succeed in these kinds of situations, whether they be at a man disadvantage, whether they be slowing things into these kinds of creeps and crawls. North tends to get the best of them. They've done a good job of establishing this opening situation, but it's a matter of closing it out. And I love that North aren't just playing so scared, they're proactive. MSL leads a bit of an expedition party into the tunnels. He positions AZ behind him, and now with the grenade sailing over middle, if Kiebi can delay this, these T's are dead to rights. If he can clear it himself, then that's even better. Icing on the cake is North looking for a 7th round. Will have to give chase to Doja. And he's got 25 seconds, but he's got a splinter in his side. 3 of the last 4 going the way of North. And as said, as close as can be.
And hey, that's an improvement on the CT side from North. Yes, Gambit take the half in their favor, but on a map we already know to be fairly equal. And North already proven their CT side was struggling up against the other teams in this tournament. Their T side is where we really see the heat be brought, so assuming North can continue their form as they have so far this event, this game is certainly still on. Look how close the previous one got, Connor, and that was what, 12-6 when North finally started to pull the game back. It was a 9-6 half that Gambit got pistol with conversions on their T side. Or CT side, sorry, but either way, North still with a very, very good shot of taking this map here and bringing us forward to overpass. And to be honest, that still wouldn't surprise me. I'm excited to see this mid battle now swapped over. And we see a lot of fights going across there, and Mo hitting a lot of cross shots, but as we've mentioned many times before, Mertz can do the exact same.
I feel like Mert started to lose control of the situation towards the later portion of that half.
Yeah.
Times where he was dueling versus multiple players, right? They wouldn't just position an Opper there. I mean, look at the time Mo gets the 2 kills. He's got a AK player standing on the ledge, taking all of the heat, grabbing the attention, and setting him up to succeed, which, again, they've done. But it's not over. We've got attack pause at the start of the game.
I like that. Attack on the pistol. Mo's so confused he put a question mark in chat, but then quickly realized. North trying to bring in an execute potentially. We got a bit of utility on MSL. And actually Armor, still on 9 players here in this round, but it was 10. Oh, sorry, 8 players, but it was 10 in the previous pistol. It's nice to see as well no weak links for North. Of course, there were a couple of players who were slightly lagging behind, especially after that first half of Train. And while it did equal up, it was KAB actually managed to pull a huge couple of influential rounds on their T side. Now everyone's performing well for North. And of course, the same for Gambit. As we head into this pistol, North set up towards the B site. Let's see if this tactical pause has any effect. Hobbit already taking the shots. He spotted everyone here. The bomb, the players, all the information, the rotation needed to be found. And no one's hitting shots here on either side. It's a complete mess within this B bomb site. What is going on? Adren needs to find some kills. He finally starts it off, but it's a complete massacre for Gambit as they finally secure the 4-on-1.
He's done, unless he somehow barrels his way out of this. AZ takes down 2. It's a duel up close. Doja above, AZ below. On health as well, lesser so, but oh, a fake jump from Doja. AZ's predicting a lower peak. He's not gonna know. Smart plays from Doja, but it's spotted. The jig is up. The duel's still on. And these players just waiting and waiting and waiting.
Oh. No! Doja wins it! AZ with a 4K, can't find the ace on the pistol round, and it is going to be that of Gambit. And I mean, a valiant attempt from AZ, but at that point, that was a 3-on-1 for Gambit. They had the round surely under lock. And look at these shots from AZ, crisp as can be. A delayed, drawn-out fight from Dosia, and neither player wanting to force the engagement. AZ swapping out to the Glock, but he's not going to be able to do it. What a round, Connor. You don't see that every day.
I mean, take all the tactical pauses you want. You have to calculate for getting kills. And they had so many players there. I mean, I don't think that they had to necessarily mull over a 5-man B player push, but it's the afterplant that they may have been predicting. It's an afterplant they never got. But they do have still a situation because Gambit come into this with a heavy SMG buy, and North have at least one variable working their way. MSL takes the AK-47. Kierby's got Kevlar, and so does, of course, the rifle wielder. But they don't have any tunnels control, despite having 4 players here. Hobbit's never going to see this coming. Now, B should be open for the taking, but the CTs will still have time to rotate into it. And it's Mo on the scout, trying to soften up some targets, trying to pummel some bodies, and he gets pushed back after the headshot to MSL. AK on AZ, bomb thrown over, and just like this, North seem to have found an opening.
Fake plant even. They don't want a single man without a weapon in his hands, and Vowley shows us why. Finishes it off with a headshot to Adren, and North will take it. Picking up the force buy in that second round. Gambit, similarly to Train, looking like they're about to take the pistol with the conversions and get off to a very good start in that second half. North will disallow it as soon as they possibly can. MSL with the entry, the lockdown towards B from him as well. 2 kills on that solo AK, definitely showing his worth.
Yeah, it's huge that they find Hobbit with the MP9 pushing back through tunnels, but it also puts the mid player, who's so unequipped for the situation, in a very difficult spot. I mean, if we'd see Mo peek that window with an AK-40 or with a rifle, even with a FAMAS, anything, then all of a sudden these unarmored players are so easy to pick up, but he only gets 1 or 2 shots off. He lands both. A chest shot, a headshot, but you just can't continuously fire off bullets so slowly. So they overwhelm him, they grab their guns, and North have bounced back early on. Although there's a trap to be sprung here. Hobbit will reel his way back into the corner here. Do they expect him to have left? Because he is still standing, but his teammate on B, not so much.
They're just trying to make him force the fight. They don't want to run into a deal and get mown down. They make Hobbit be the initiator. And while he is dropping Mertz in the tunnel, it's a small consolation here for Gambit, who already have to fall back and hold on to these guns with the armor. North have taken the next round. They haven't allowed Gambit to come back in with a reset, which will push the CTs to USPs, sorry. Maybe CZs, maybe some slight investment. But for now, North are just looking to hunt down these final kills, remove any real pressure from that next round by these armored players. But Adren with a deagle, of course, going to win that duel. Kierby dead in a reposition. These are the final save spots here for Gambit, and I don't think North want to challenge too much more.
No, definitely not. They'd love to stabilize at this point. This is an opening.
Oh. Not bad. And that gives a gun over. It's a big risk. Not only do you need 3 players alive to actually make a profit on your money, but also 3 rifles. Yeah, okay, the UMP start to chase and you lose them. That's one thing. It's not like Gambit care about picking up a couple of UMPs. You're giving an M4 now to Gambit. An opportunity for them to do damage. And again, maybe even win the round. We've seen it happen before. 2 armored players, Adren on that M4. But North with the full buy. This should surely be theirs.
Mertz not being given any targets after the initial cross. Never going to win that duel with these kinds of weapons. Would take a devilish deagle. But just too much to ask. They will still move their players back. And what's interesting here is that Mertz gives up the hold on mid because he wants to take this A site, and because of that, North never spotted Gambit actually double back towards A, so they might still anticipate lesser numbers. Although if you dwindle down the numbers yourself, then you're not going to have a problem. 4v2 and the gun of Gambit is down.
Ooh, pincer play though. Mo going to get caught by Mertz. The players up on shore not exposing their head to that of the CT spawn, keeping close to the wall. This is as close as it comes. 10-9 now. North back in the favor. It's been a long time coming here for the Danish side, but they do have the lead under control for now. Gambit coming back with a big buy of their own, though. M4's fully across the board, but With no AWP, we're watching this AWP in middle for Mertz to see if he can find the damage. He looks for it, but no one spotted on the cross. Unsure as to whether he would get close peeks. You don't want to go for that door cross shot if you may suspect they have an AWP, because as soon as you shoot, Gambit can just go for a quick peek and take that trade. And Connor, we're in a similar situation to that of Train. The score is equal. Gambit have gone for the risk buy with not a lot of utility, no AWP, no kits, nothing. If this starts to get away from North, I imagine, once again, as of Train, we won't see Gambit go for these risky kind of buys. But of course, it is the first of the half. This is what you expect, really.
Yeah, they don't need to lose all of their profits. Oh, but Mertz patiently waiting on the edge of the smoke there punishes Adren's attempt at a retreat. There's still the CT boosted up on the boxes inside the spawn, seized. Lies in wait. Right now, bomb starting to move over towards the B site, and there's literally no defense there. The closest player sits outside on the scaffolding, and this could easily translate into a save round. If you lose this B bomb site, you don't have any grenades to retake, you don't even have a kit, you need these weapons to contest the next. We're talking the B bomb site of Dust 2. It doesn't get much harder to take that aback. But with Hobbit now having his attention towards B because Seized wins the duel in mid, that could have been a chance.
They were all flashed within the site as well. Hobbit goes for that peek, but just peeks a second too early and gets blinded. Assuming he peeks later, he may get a kill or two. He may be able to contest the round, but because of that flash timing just setting him off guard, it's North's round. They go forward with 4 players surviving. Gambit know they need to save the guns because they've only got 2,900 loss bonus. And it's an awkward flashbang that loses Gambit an entire round, especially after they lock down that mid player. Sees getting the kill to the split from MSL. Could have been an opportunity.
That is one of the pieces of this puzzle. Again, Gambit's an unknown quantity on Dust 2, and they showed us a great first half, but now it's turning it around to the CT side, right? If we look at, say Imperial on Dust 2 versus North, yeah, sure, they did great on T as well, but they just got dismantled once the sides were swapped. Gambit starting to feel the wrath of the Danes. Still, though, we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. It was an upset second round, and now this being one of the first few guns. We will give them time, but here it is, right? Mertz finding impact on the T side of Dust 2. This is a big piece for him.
Not connecting for now, though. With Gambit still giving up this round in sense of an eco, Seized is going to try and force kills because he knows that they're going to be buying up next round regardless. Valde already dead in the tunnel, and a pick found for Gambit, but they give up the A site in the meantime. No long control at all. Mo in a good spot, assuming they don't Molotov this position out just out of fear. But Dozier certainly will be. Forced back by the flames as Mo waits for the contact. They spam towards his box. It's not an open plant towards short. It's a position they already contain. It is long, but MSL will be contained within the ramp before Mo takes him down. And now the 5-on-3 retake in for Gambit. They could do this, Connor.
Nice spray control from Mo. He clears the head of AZ, but Mertz is still alive. Bomb planted for him. There is one smoke left for Seized. He needs to get it into position. And there you go. This could spell disaster. You even have Mertz extending himself upwards, so now it all falls onto Kierby. And with an M4A1S, he just doesn't have enough in the tank. Barely. With another defuse this time on the A site, Gambit will win on the retake.
But while that's awkward, of course, that was a round where Gambit still only had 2 pistols in play, and one of them without even armor on the USP. You got to look at the positives for North, and that is the fact that after a 4-round streak, they built up a hell of a lot of money. Gambit have found 1, which means North can come back in with a reset, put Gambit back down to a terrible economy, and so late in the game, if that were to happen, if North were to win this round, we could see them just steamroll their way to the end of the match, or at least the map. MSL, look at this contact, though, just running in through middle. They have no idea. Not a single spot coming through. Eventually, Valde's sighted up from the CT spawn, so the CT's going to be aware. But Adren's dead, and Hobbit follows up. It's the B site caved open once again. And then a 5-on-3 off that fast, Connor. Gambit can't even consider this round.
No, that's a good identification by MSL there to see that mid had been open. When you have 2 players constantly crossing on the jump, what you tend to have is a lackluster mid-hold early on. Generally because what you're doing is trying to set up players towards long A on Dust, right? That tends to be one of the first few pieces of a CT setup. But if you have that additional third player not on A bomb site, but over towards mid, you can generally stop these sorts of situations. When that man is absent, Hugo, you see what happens. They parade valiantly up through middle, hitting the B-bomb site. Despite it being spotted, they had it already pinched in from tons, right? That was the plan from the get-go, and North execute it to a T.
And while they do win the round, luckily enough, Gambit saves 3 guns. So it's the reset, but Gambit's still able to buy up, obviously, because of those weapons brought forward. So it's not the end of the world. However, certainly an awkward spot for this CIS team. As guns are shuffled over, we actually have the double AWP in play here now for Gambit on Adren and Mo. Interesting to see Hobbit moving off of that secondary AWP. We typically see him taking it as well a lot, but Adren, this entire best of 3 has just been on that AWP over him. Mo looking for the mid shot, already feigned across with the smoke, and now does he realize the angle? It's a yes, but he's not going to hit the shot. Mertz given a second chance at life there, back in on the repeat, and North setting up early for a default with top mid on lock, tunnels disallowing aggression from Gambit, and mid under their control.
Man, I mean, Mo, he's safe the first time, right? You can tell that he respects the capabilities of Mertz, because when the smoke is still there, he flashes over after missing his first shot, repositions entirely, tries to play a patient angle. And that is bewildering to me that after playing it so safely, once the smoke fades, he just jumps across. Like, Mertz is going to hit you, and certainly he does. So the AWP are now a liability for Gambit, 1 of 2, of course, but he's been repositioned over towards long, where North have lackluster presence. It is catwalk they'll emphasize here. Bomb in tow, leaving a player to anchor towards middle. And now if the smoke's gone, this will be their chance to try and get Mertz into position. He wants to crack open this bomb site.
Still Gambit cycle utility. Still they hold them back. But that's starting to run dry with only flashbangs and an HE on Adren. This is where the push can come through. North knows it. They're going to go for the commitment. Drop to the CT spawn. Mo spots it, but he's going to get shot from above. Flash from C's gives away his position. Again, he blinds himself, as well as the enemy team. Still dropping the bomb in the process, but getting shot from 2 angles. He takes 2 kills. Looking for the final man up through the ramp, and it's seized to lock down the A site.
Solid play there. When he goes out with the flashbang, I think he's lost the element of surprise, but it doesn't matter because he's got the mow down. Corpses piling at his feet, and he even gets the 4th. That's just icing on the cake. They know exactly where he is. He's taking heat already from this last player, right? So he's prepared for the duel. 1 big play from Seized is what keeps Gambit a single round behind, trailing not by much now. And the double op setup still afforded, despite heavy losses. North purchased their own. And Valda, he reads into the grenade, right? Because the frag falls at his feet, he anticipates they know he's there. Will still linger despite smoking off what would have been an easy exit. Valda will wait here for a very long time. He loves to punish an eventual B push. And Hobbit's the kind of guy that will go curiously into the lower tunnels.
Curiously up short is where North will commit. Mo's forced off of Cat. So North, bit by bit, taking eventual map control up towards this A site. This will hint towards something, though. We'll see if Gambit have any kind of reaction to this. Maybe that tunnel's push that you mentioned, but Seized moves back off of A to the CT spawn. At least poised for a retake, but also the mid to B split that could come through. However, North fully committed towards short here. 4 players intact. It's the same as the last round. They know the execute's good. They're just hoping there's no one here like Seized to mow them down with 4 kills. Assuming that doesn't happen, North have a very good opportunity to actually win this execute. They hope it was a one and done from Seized, and now with him being repositioned, North is set up perfectly to take this A site.
But Mo, he has no pressure to the left, so he's just gonna sit here all night long. And while he's already found that first kill, now he's not quite sure how close they can be, but they have to be near because the plant is necessary for them to win this round. They will have no after plant position past the bomb site. They will reel back towards middle, where they've kept AZ as an anchor this entire time. A very tricky situation for Gambit to try and piece together here as they're retaking with a double op, 1 kit, barely any nades, and Mertz is already posted up on this angle. Now he needs to be aware that that can happen. Adren creeping in off of the ramp. They understand that there's going to be players towards Cat, but Valde, he's able to grab himself too. He holds down the bomb site, pushing it onto Kierby, the last man left. And Dosha's frag grenade will do nothing to help the situation. He's got the kit, and he doesn't have the kill. North to the board.
And even saving the AWP as well. I mean, that's everything put together from North. Great execute. And while we saw a very similar one in the first half where Gambit were able to take the A site and North fully were going for the retake from CT spawn, it actually worked out for them because they didn't get caught by that mid flank. The same story here. While it was Mo in the first half, it was easy to try and catch that mid rotation, but Gambit just not going for it. And still they can't win the round. Still, even avoiding AZ, it's North's to take.
Remember, crucially, in our opening map, a round just like this, Mo has an op, we have armored CZs around him, and Gambit managed to pull it out of thin air in order to re-establish themselves and re-solidify a lead. Now they are trailing, so the situation's gotten even worse. And with a 4 versus 5 presenting itself in the opening 30 seconds, it's not a good gut feeling. Then Mo gets tagged up. Mertz, over and over, just dominates the middle portion of this map. He makes it so difficult for them to hold on door, and that just creates this essence of unknowingness. There's nobody over towards the B site. Gambit, they have to play scared.
And they have to get kills. Hobbit's pressured in this situation, even though they don't check his corner. He only gets one for it. The AWP that was already tagged up is finished off by AZ, and Kjaerbye splits a short. North, with attention diverted towards long, strike from two sides. And Adren, he's being pushed from both of them. Deeg is out, shot to AZ. And with Mert spotted, it doesn't even matter. Kjaerbye's going to wrap his way up with a second kill. And North, with a 14th round. We question whether the Gambit CT side would be strong enough, Connor, and every single round they've had has been reset from North. They took the pistol, only to lose to a force. And then they followed up with two other subsequent rounds that have not been pieced together side by side. As North look to close out this map and bring us to overpass, we've got a full buy again, whereas Gambit are reaching deep into their pockets. The charity shot by, the jumble sailed. And with North 2 rounds away from victory on their map pick.
Slow and steady towards middle until Mo wants to try and get aggressive, takes an ambitious peek. Isn't given anything in return. With the smoke grenade there now, this does slow down North. They'll have to lie in wait and seize. Well, he's priming a flash. Not that he can do much off of it. There's no teammate here to peek. He's still just trying to shake up North a little. At least he does get a response in terms of utility. Now seized with the CZ, and Mo comes in off of the side peek. And he's so committed to this deep corner that they're not going to spot his shadow or shoulder if they walk in. But Mertz again, Hugo, bails them out in a crucial situation. What would have been a 4v3 and Gambit safely reeling into bomb sites now gets turned on its head. Valda has been in these tunnels since the beginning of the round, and sure enough, here it comes.
And where's the difficulty been in this entire half for Gambit? It's been this B site. Hobbit's even going to overextend. He's dead. Curious for kills, but Valdi's position catches him off guard, and that could be it. That could be the round. Gambit may even have to save here. We need a hero play from Mo, and he runs through the Molotov, but he's burning alive. Does take the shot. Surely he can't follow up, and Valdi makes it so. Doja alone in a 1v2, and he's too far away.
This throws things into a scattered state. Bomb's been dropped and still it's not planted. Valda's so worried that this next CT's nearby. It has actually afforded Doja the chance to get this much closer. He is back in contention of the round. The bomb carrier's covered. The teammate gives him the chance. Mertz, crucially so, shuts down the show as North look to end this map.
The backbone again strikes. That being Mertz, who, let's be real, you know, there was a lot of hype when he joined this roster, but I'd say myself that he never really lived up to the hype until this event. It's been Dust 2 where he is back in form. 15-11, 1 round away from taking this victory here in the second map, and Gambit, they have nothing to play with. It's a CZ stack. Up on long they go, and Mo's already dead. The scout dropped over by Valdi opening up. And North continue to commit. Lots of nade damage going in for Gambit, so North actually taking a fair bit of damage here, but MSL so hungry for frags, he's going to take one. Those with the instantaneous trade, and North are just going to give up long and look somewhere else. They've spotted presence from Gambit. They know there are 2 players there, but in the meantime, Hobbit can make this count, but another trade in for North. They don't allow Gambit to run away with this.
These trade frags are coming at like the most last possible second in every situation. If Hobbit's able to exit with a gun, he gets up into the tons, and then North can't get into the B bomb site. He becomes a problem. He could have hid towards T-spawn. He could be behind any corner, cowering. But Gambit, they're going to have to go for this, and with no kit, no utility, they have to retake at a man disadvantage on the B site. A saving grace, Hugo, is the fact that they do have 2 of these T's tagged up. And Doja, well, Doja's going to keep himself side by side. Adrent swapping to the CZ, Mertz with a flashbang. Has the op, not yet scoped in, not yet posted. Valda incredibly tagged, but beneath here, there it is. In an instant, it's over. Dust 2 goes to North, and we need a decider. They are 3 for 3 on this map this weekend. Looking strong, and I would say it's good for North that Mertz is a piece of this puzzle, because individually speaking, he is very good on Dust 2, and if he's going to be a key piece for them to kind of re-establish themselves at this level of CS, if they have a good old Dust 2 pocket pick, Hugo, then we may be seeing the rise of North yet again.
I know, that's fantastic to say as well, because we've always talked about this team. They have all the pieces. They have a sick roster in and of themselves. They have the firepower, they have the leading skill, they've got all the resources they need, and they're finally finding success here. Map 2 going their way, and I'm sure they couldn't be happier. Now going into Overpass as a third map, questions arise. This has always been a good map for Gambit. North certainly not been, an Overpass picking team.
It's a good map for Gambit historically, but look at this weekend in isolation. They start off with a double overtime versus Torque, where they barely walk away. And then, in yesterday's matchup versus AGO, they get whooped 16-9. So there is some very shaky situations here by Gambit coming into Overpass, but that's what we want. We want action, and we want a third map. And both those things are guaranteed in just a bit, folks. Short break, and we'll be back with the decider.
Place your